Let me rephrase that. Vivek Ramaswamy, or as I like to call him, Ramen Noodle, has almost become a fixture on my channel, as well as various other people's channels, such as Harvey over at Your World, and definitely Kid Gravity. Kid Gravity is still trying to get this dude onto his platform to debate him or whatever the case may be. But I keep telling Kid, you fighting an uphill battle, because I highly doubt he was going to come over there. But something I had said about Ramen Noodles on Kid Gravity's platform a couple months ago, when we were reacting to a interview that he had did with this black woman. I forgot what state it was in. It was somewhere out in the Midwest, but I can't remember exactly where it was. If he's watching it, he'll remember, and he'll put it down in the chat somewhere, if he's in the chat. And I had said then, I have a feeling this dude is doing all of this for attention. He wants to garner some type of fame, and he wants to probably get a podcast just in case things go left for him when it comes to this presidential run. And I'm gonna be quite honest with you. Let's be real here. You don't have to consult a fortune teller or use and plug up a crystal ball to know that this guy's not going to get very far when it comes to this election. I highly doubt he's going to get past the first round, but that's just how I feel about it. But we shall see. Stranger things have happened. And then all of a sudden, I get this article posted into my Discord from ABC News, and it says, wanting to be famous, how Vivek Ramaswamy sought podcast stardom prior to White House run. He's been wanting to be famous for a long time. And we look at the antics that this guy does, you can tell that this guy is a fame whore. He is attention seeking on a very high degree, and all the time it seems like he's always talking about us. It's to throw us under the bus, because that seems to be the recipe of the day. Whenever you run for a political office, just throw black people under the bus and hope that gets you very far. Only it doesn't get them that very far at all, because they then have to realize it takes more to running a nation than just throwing black people under the bus. That's just a hobby at this point. But I'm curious though about what this article is going to tell us. And by the way, I am recording this on August 21st, 2023. In early 2023, biotech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy summoned a small group of conservative operatives to discuss exciting plans he had for the coming months. I'm going to run for president, Ramaswamy said on the call. Multiple sources who were on the call tell ABC News that they were baffled by the news. They had figured that maybe Ramaswamy, then a little known biotech millionaire, had been working on a new business venture, or was writing a book, or was even contemplating a run for Senate in his home state of Ohio. But launching a long shot bid for the White House was the last thing they expected. So they're pretty much telling you right there that this came completely out of left field for them, because him running for president definitely was not on their 2023 bingo card. It most likely wasn't on his either, but he just decided to do it because, again, if he plans on building a podcast like I assume he's going to do, he needs an audience. For me, I truly believe he's building an audience right now, so when that future podcast does come, he already has a lot of eyes honed in and locked into whatever nonsense he's going to say on it, that we probably have heard thousands of times from others of his ilk. Ramaswamy pitched himself as a candidate who could make serious waves in the Republican primary at the meeting. When met with some skepticism, Ramaswamy argued that his candidacy could also dissuade Florida Governor Ron DeSnowflake from entering the race. And as we can see, that didn't happen, according to a source who was on the call. In the lead up to his announcement, Ramaswamy would tell several other conservative activists that he believed that if he ran, it could stop the snowflake from running or impact his viability as a candidate if he ever did enter the race. Fast forward 6 months, and Ramaswamy, a relative unknown prior to his long shot bid for the White House, has made some serious waves in the GOP primary as he continues to grab headlines ahead of this week's first GOP primary debate. While former President Donald Trump remains the heavy frontrunner, Ramaswamy, despite having lower name recognition than his more seasoned rivals, has climbed to third place in the polls according to 538 national averages. I want to know where at, as far as number wise, does that third actually mean? His presidential bid has already elevated Ramaswamy from a little-known conservative upstart who occasionally made appearances on Fox News to a candidate who has received a much Google search interest as former Vice President Mike Pence and former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. His campaign has turbocharged Ramaswamy's social media presence, with his number of followers on Twitter, now known as X, nearly quadrupling, ballooning from a little over 236,000 prior to announcing his candidacy to now nearly 1 million followers just 6 months later. Despite Ramaswamy's success, or possibility because of it, some critics have accused the political neophyte of running for president simply to raise his stature. Bottom line, conservative columnist Scott Moorfield wrote in a recent town hall column, whether Donald Trump wins the primary and manages to pull off a miracle win in the general, or does as predicted and loses bigly, Vivek Ramaswamy wins with, at a minimum, a massive profile increase. Now, these are his constituents that are saying that, people who are conservative, who are in his party, who are saying that. And I'm speaking prematurely because this video most likely is going to be uploaded after the debate. I wonder if this is going to be a question that pops up during the debate about his wanting to run for president. Like, why did he really run? Is he doing this for attention? Is he doing this for fame? Is he doing this because he wants to start up a podcast? I wonder if that's going to be a question that's going to come up, and I'm going to watch it and see if that question does come up. In fact, ABC News has learned that Ramaswamy, age 38, was pursuing another potentially high-profile venture before he launched his presidential bid. Prior to that meeting where Ramaswamy pitched his 2024 run, the successful entrepreneur had been heading down a different path, one that was long in development but fell through prior to him deciding to launch a long-shot White House bid, ABC News has been told. Heading into 2022, Ramaswamy had inked a deal and had been working with the popular right-wing media company The Daily Wire on a project that was ultimately scrapped, according to multiple sources familiar with the project. And we know who runs The Daily Wire. The deal was unlike anything The Daily Wire had previously done with its talent. The company, which in 2022 said it made $200 million, signed Ramaswamy in the hope of developing a show around him. The project, which was scheduled to debut in 2022, would have seen Ramaswamy as the new face of a podcast focused on politics and the economy, according to multiple sources familiar with its development. Leadership at The Daily Wire, which includes founder and popular conservative social media star Ben Shapiro, had taken notice of Ramaswamy when he began making appearances on Fox News and other conservative media outlets around the release of his book, Woke Incorporated. In particular, leadership at the company was drawn to Ramaswamy's ability to communicate conservative ideas and policy, sources said. The show had been in development for a number of months before it was dropped, sources said. Ramaswamy had been deeply involved in the process and had taped multiple test runs for the show, with members of the Daily Wire team flying out to Ohio to help its development before the company passed on the project. While it's not immediately clear exactly why the show was dropped, Daily Wire CEO Jeremy Boring, who is currently on leave from the company while he directs a fantasy series for the company's streaming service, told ABC News in an interview that after a months-long development process with Ramaswamy, the company parted ways with him after it was clear his priorities had shifted. His priorities were changing, and we could have chosen to be aggressive about it. We did spend a little bit of money on the prep that we've been doing, Boring said, noting that the company agreed to let Ramaswamy out of the development contract as the tech entrepreneur looked to launch Strive, which branded itself as a quote-unquote anti-woke asset management firm. Do you see how this guy literally manages to fix quote-unquote woke into every facet of his life? He literally has a company called, like a book called Woke Incorporated. Then he has this thing called Strive that said it was going to be an anti-woke assessment asset management firm. And the fact that he left doing something that Daily Wire was literally set to build around him, and they pumped some money into it, and he just left it because he wanted to become or run for president, lets you know this guy's not reliable. I wonder how much money Daily Wire was about to put behind him, or how much they had already spent to try to get this thing launched and off the ground for him. I'm telling you, this guy, when he loses, because he's going to lose, he's going to set up that podcast. It might not be with the Daily Wire because he kind of left a stain with just leaving. It might be somewhere else, but he had to build his clout up and get a following. That way he could basically get a head start or a boost. However, sources familiar with the decision told ABC News that some in leadership at the Daily Wire soured on Ramaswamy as the development process progressed. Some on the team began to feel Ramaswamy came off too much like a politician and too scripted for the company's brand. And there were issues around the biotech entrepreneur not taking preparation seriously enough for the show. In a company meeting a few months after the decision was made to scrap plans for the show, the Daily Wire executive said the company dodged a bullet by deciding not to work with Ramaswamy, sources said. While Boring, who was CEO at the time, said he can't speak for all the employees at the company, he denied that leadership at the Daily Wire felt it had dodged a bullet, telling ABC News, "I've never heard any of those words be used. It was my deal, that was my project, and in the end, I'm the one who decided to bring Ramaswamy in, and I'm the one who decided to let him out. And I certainly didn't think that he was too politician or that he would be a bad fit. I thought it'd be a terrific fit," Boring said. After the show fell through, Boring said Ramaswamy called him to let him know that he was about to launch his presidential campaign a week before he made the announcement, which Boring said caught him by surprise. "I could really relate to the absurdity of, and I really admire the absurdity of, I'm going to run for president in a week or 2 weeks or whatever it was from when he called me," recalled Boring, who said he was surprised to hear Ramaswamy was jumping into politics and that he had never previously heard him discuss running for president. So that goes back to many people being taken aback by him saying he wants to run for president because he never gave this desire to want to run before. Again, going back to what I've said when I was on with Kid Gravity, this guy is doing this for attention. You can't tell me that he's not. Keep in mind, it's the same guy that rapped to Lose Yourself by Eminem in Iowa, and them people was just so stiff. I mean, I know many of you by now have already seen the video. I felt that kind of sense of kinship, not because I have aspiration of running for office, but just because of the kind of entrepreneurial madness of the whole thing, Boring said. I thought it was great. As Ramaswamy has climbed in the polls, speculation has increased regarding his motivations for running for president. Some have claimed his campaign is a shadow effort to secretly help Trump stave off a challenge from DeSantis, or DeSnowflake, and breeze to the party's nomination, a criticism that has gained traction given Ramaswamy's embrace of Trump on the campaign trail. Others say his long shot bid is simply an effort to elevate his profile by embracing Trump and his supporters. According to sources who used to work closely with Ramaswamy, growing his brand in conservative media has long been a goal for the biotech millionaire. It's clear that he's been wanting to be famous for a long time, one person who previously advised Ramaswamy told ABC News. Another Republican aide who advised Ramaswamy early in his campaign told ABC News that there was frustration among staff early on that the candidate was more concerned about getting his campaign podcast titled The Vivek Show off the ground rather than strategizing around how to win the party's nomination. So why is Vivek running anyway? Moorfield wrote in his column. It's hard to imagine it's not for one or both of the following reasons. The first one being to raise his profile and secure some sort of post in the upcoming administration, or the second one would be to pave the way for a Trump defeat of DeSnowflake. When asked for comments on this story, Ramaswamy senior advisor Tricia McLaughlin told ABC News, referring to the snowflake, "Does one of your sources live in a publicly financed mansion in Tallahassee, Florida? I'm sure they will add this to their pre-can attack memo for the debate," McLaughlin said. Yet even Ramaswamy's harshest critic can't deny his results so far in the campaign. Since entering the race, Ramaswamy has received widespread acclaim in conservative, mostly pro-Trump circles. At the recent Turning Point Action conference, a majority of the largely pro-Trump crowd voted Ramaswamy as their second choice for president with a 51% of the vote. That success appears to have put Ramaswamy in his rival's sights at the upcoming debate, according to documents published online by a group associated with the DeSantis allied super PAC, Never Back Down, that outlined the governor might strike back should he be attacked by his rivals. Hammer Vivek Ramaswamy in a response is listed as the third of 4 basic must-dos for DeSnowflake on the debate stage, adding that he needs to take a sledgehammer to Vivek Ramaswamy, fake Vivek or Vivek the fake. Vivek's job on August 23rd is to introduce himself and his vision to the American people, McLaughlin said in response. These boring canned attack lines from a robotic candidate doesn't change that. Ramaswamy says he is in the race to win and that he would not be open to running alongside Trump. He says he believes he is the only candidate who can assert a 1980s Reagan-style landslide victory as a part of the Ramaswamy revolution in 2024. That is wishful thinking, and I saw those numbers. I've never in my life seen a landslide like that before. Even Obama didn't do that when he was running against McCain back in 2008. I don't think I'm going further with the America First agenda than Trump did, but for whatever reason, it does not have that same effect on the people of this country, Ramaswamy said when asked by ABC News about his comments that Donald Trump makes 30% of the country lose their mental faculties. My view is the people of this country who care about advancing those values will vote for me because they believe I will be a vehicle for accomplishing that, he said. And that is the entire article right there. I'm telling y'all, like Harvey has been telling us people for a long time, y'all better keep an eye on this dude. And I'm gonna be honest, a lot of people probably didn't know who Vivek Ramaswamy was until they watched our commentaries and our videos about this dude, because I know some people may not be knee deep in the politics. I'm not even knee deep in the politics, but when someone says something that kind of makes my eyebrow raise, then it's like, okay, now I have to address this, especially this dude right here who has literally been a thorn in our side for the last few months, or back to whenever I first started to address him on my channel. And it's been a while. Like, I think I started addressing Vivek probably in the first quarter of 2023. But yeah, we'll see. And y'all can come back to this video and see what happens, because again, this video is going to go up after the debate. So we're going to see if that question gets asked. I'm very curious if they're going to ask that question that they kind of framed in this article of what is he really doing this for? Why is he really running for president?